I want you all to take a step back and think. Think about a period of time in your life of intense and sustained transformation. Now think about it in the form of 9 months. You see, to all of us here, 9 months is one of the most profound and universally understood timeline for transformation. It's that time when two wonderful cells come together, create one cell, and that single cell moves through darkness, complexity, relentless building, growing, and strengthening until a new human life is ready to emerge. 9 months for me and my family last year was the time that we spent in the hospital at St. Mary's. 293 days waiting for my son to receive a heart transplant. The physical waiting was absolutely agonizing, absolutely was. But today I want to talk to you about the invisible, crucial, relentless development that happened during the long wait. It is the deep and unseen growth of the mind, the spirit, and the essential resilience needed to endure 293 days. Whether you know somebody, whether you have been there, a long-term stay in the hospital for an individual, for a family member, for a friend, knowing that they need a lot of resilience to be able to withstand that time in the hospital. And their mental health really takes a hit during a long stay. My goal today is to show you that a long period of waiting can, in fact, be profound and intentional mental gestation of time. You see, patients waiting in the hospital for months at a time are unique. Why? For a lot of different reasons. Number one is they get past that initial shock of an acute illness. And they realize that this isn't something that's going to be done in just a few days, a few weeks, or potentially a month. Number two, they lose complete control of what they consider their daily life, because now they're on a different schedule, they're on a different time frame. And number three, they feel this isolation and what we would call de-socialization, and these become real issues in their life. Mental health, the mental health of the patient can be overlooked as a part of their overall plan as they're staying in the hospital. So I want to be a voice for them this morning, because I don't believe that there is one perfect answer for this issue of mental health in the hospital with a long-term patient. I believe that everyone involved needs to collaborate and do their part. In these issues, there's an opportunity to learn, grow, and even foster meaningful relationships. So today I'm going to discuss these mental issues, these mental health strategies, and some of the things that long-term patients feel and try to overcome while they are staying long-term in the hospital. The first thing that many people can come across is chronic stress. You see, because day in and day out, all they talk about is their health. All they talk about is what we're going to do to get you to the next step, how we're going to get you physically better than you currently are. They're dealing with nurses and doctors who all day long are dealing with the stress of patients who potentially are going to lose their life. And these doctors and nurses are coming into their room and sometimes letting out their stress on a patient that they talk with on a regular basis. Then, of course, it's a hospital setting. So you have all the different things that are happening within the hospital. Some of you might remember a couple of weeks ago when I gave a speech about the code blue button, and my youngest one accidentally pushing that code blue button. Well, unfortunately, when you're in an ICU, when you're in a setting, that button gets pushed from time to time. And bells and whistles start to happen, and doctors and nurses come running from all these different areas. You might be sitting down to enjoy a movie or read a book, and all of a sudden, whistles are going off and bells are going off, and you hear people running down the hallway, and that's not something that happens in a typical, normal life. Then, of course, there's just the chronic stress of regular testing, blood draws, checking your blood pressure, checking your heart rate, all these different things that you don't do as a normal person within your own home. So what can be done about chronic stress? Well, the healthcare providers can do a lot of different things themselves. One of the things that I really enjoyed would be when a nurse would come into the room and they would introduce themselves by their first name, because that makes you feel a lot more human. Instead of, oh, that person with a heart that's failing down the hallway. No, it's Micah. Or a lot of people would come into his room and it would be Mighty Micah. Hey, Mighty Micah, I'm Kayla. I'm going to be your nurse today. What are we going to be doing today? Treating somebody like an actual human and not just a patient that has a disease or something that's wrong can help a lot of times with chronic stress. What about guests? Well, one of the first things that guests do a lot of times when they visit somebody in the hospital is they start to ask, well, how's your sickness? How are you doing? How is this? How is that? Something a guest can do that can really help somebody with chronic stress is say, are you doing well today? And then move on. Hey, you know what? The Twins played today. How was the Twins game? Let's talk about that. I guess according to one of our Toastmasters, maybe we should avoid the Twins. Hey, did you hear about this and this in the news today? Maybe you come in, you bring a game, you get something to get their mind off of the stress of day in and day out hospital. Of course, if it's a child that's waiting in the hospital, games, video games, those kind of things are absolutely great. And if it's an adult, maybe you bring in something that brings a little normalcy to them. You bring in a stack of mail and say, hey, I'd love to go through this mail together with you today. You bring in a basket of laundry and say, would you like to fold some laundry with me? Give them a sense of something normal. Number two, second stressor that happens with long-term stays in the hospital is isolation. While a patient is in the hospital, the world continues. For you, it completely stops, but everybody around you continues their life. And again, a couple of days, a couple of weeks, maybe even a month, and you go, okay, right back into it. But after you've been 3, 6, 9 months, you start to see the world kind of float away and seemingly go on without you. So what can be done to help take somebody out of isolation? Well, number one is helping the patient to set a daily schedule, saying this is what we're going to do. We're going to wake up at this time, and then allow them a few choices along the way. Well, what time do you want to get dressed? Well, what kind of food would you like to order today? What would you like to do? A, B, C, and D. Another thing is to involve video calls. That's one of the best things that's happened with COVID, was how big video calls became. So maybe once or twice a day you schedule a video call. Hey, you're going to call your sister at this time. You're going to call your aunt at this time. We're going to get your cousins on the phone at this time. If it is permitted, get the patient out of the room. Once, twice, 3 times per day. Get them walking around, get them to a different part of the hospital. And number 3, another thing that's really great with isolation, get them connected with somebody within the hospital. There might be somebody going through something similar, waiting at the same amount of time as them. Get them connected, get them having conversations. And of course, make sure that friends and family are connecting with them. And finally, number 3 is we see identity loss. You see, not going to work or school, not going to sports or clubs they're involved in, people start to feel identity loss. These feelings of helplessness due to losing all their autonomy that they had outside of the hospital. So what are some things that can be done? Well, you can sit down and set some goals with them. You can help them with mindfulness or journaling to help them get outside of that identity loss that they're feeling. And you can help them to choose different things throughout the day. Well, what would you like to do today? What would you like to be? When would you like this procedure to be done? Helping them and allowing them to make some of those decisions themselves so that they're not completely feeling like they've lost their identity. I started today by speaking about the ultimate 9-month transformation, the development of a new life. Well, I want to leave you with the belief that a 6 to 12 month long stay in a hospital is not just emptiness, but it can be a powerful period of mental gestation. Patients are not just merely waiting for a physical repair, they are actively building the blueprint for their future self. They are developing inner resources in a secure, but of course, very challenging incubator for their life. They are fighting boredom, seeking connection, managing anxiety, chronic stress, identity loss. But all this is not just a distraction from their real life. It is a vital nutrition that their mental self can emerge stronger, clearer, and ready for the next chapter of their overall life. My son received his heart transplant. Yes, he is doing well. He is thriving. But the months leading up to it, he learned during that time to be what I would call born again in resiliency. So in closing, I'd like each of you to remember the value of each person that you connect with on a regular basis, whether it's for 1 day, 1 month, 9 months, or a year. Each of us has our physical battles, but the mental battles that you have in your life can be conquered too. So friends, family, nurses, and doctors, thank you for lending me your ears.